G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and by request we're going to go through the construction this time. So first things first, the mission for today, the power of Dreadnoughts. Try to destroy two powerful Dreadnoughts with old battleships. The enemy Dreadnoughts possess powerful guns and strong armor. You must try to defeat them by having a fleet of more numerous pre-dreadnoughts. You can choose between 3 pre-dreadnought hull designs. Alright, so the enemy fleet is 2 battleships. We have 120 minutes. So, 2 hours. Sink all enemies. The enemy will never retreat. The enemy has 10 inches max armor, and the enemy has a 21 knot speed. So we need guns that can defeat 10 inches. Anything less than that is just not worth taking on the ships. And we have to, well, basically we've got to be able to match or beat 21 knots on our hulls. Because if we don't, they're going to be able to open a gap on us anytime they want. As much as they don't retreat, they will maneuver, and we want to take that ability away from them. So we have 2 options here for bonuses. We have another 25 million that will help us build more ships, or we can boost technology. And this boost technology is actually pretty good. 7 centerline mounts for large guns, 6 side mounts for large guns, 4 superimposed mounts for large guns, 8-inch caliber for secondary guns, which we're not going to need really, but negative 12% on reload time, plus 42.5% gun aiming speed, 33% plus base gun accuracy, plus 45 gun long range accuracy, and then a whole bunch of bonuses that help out for any weather condition whatsoever, plus a 10% turret traverse speed as standard. So, I can't not take that. I cannot not take that. That's just too good a series of options. Okay, so here we are. Now, we've got a couple of ship options here. We've got the Battleship 2 hull, the Battleship 1 hull, and the old pre-dreadnought. Now, the old pre-dreadnought is the cheapest hull of the lot. Shortest range overall. We can get 15 of those bare, though. Depends on exactly how we want to do this. Build 9 battleships, and build 8 on the full hull. I really want to try and make this as tanky as I possibly can for a start, but we need to sort out the guns. So the enemy's going to have 11 inches of armor. So, main guns. Alright, so the 12-inch guns can penetrate 10.1 inches of armor at 10,000 meters. Now, we're probably going to be engaging much closer than that, because I do have a tendency to try and get close. 11.4 at 7.5, so the 12 inches probably aren't a bad option. Reload time is 45.8 seconds. 1.3 run rounds per minute. Actually, no, that's for the triple barrels. The double barrels get a reload every 40 seconds, so they get 1.5 shots a minute, and that's without anything to enhance their fire rate. This might actually not be a bad option. We'd go straight for the 12-inch guns, put 12 inches across the board, and then try and close to within... Actually, 7.5, 4... Yeah, once you take into account angles, we might need bigger. Main guns, center lines, we may need 13s. Let's reload. 49 seconds on the duals. 11.7 penetration at 10,000 meters, 7,500 will penetrate 13.2. So, anything inside of 7,500, even with a slight angle, we should be able to penetrate without an issue. And within 5,000 meters, we should be able to penetrate the bow, so it shouldn't matter which way they angle, we should be able to get them. Yeah, I reckon that might be the go. I reckon we go for 13-inch twins. Front and rear. Now let's worry about our towers. Now, what do we got? Front tower. Target signature +8, negative 30 smoke interference, torpedo spotting, tower spotting, long range accuracy +6, base accuracy +4, base accuracy +2, 4. Go for front tower 2. 460 of fire. Oh, it's only 40. No. It's only 40 tons difference. That's 500 tons. That's 460 tons. So let's just go for the big one. It's a bit more expensive in costs, but I'm not too concerned about money at this point. I can strip them back if we need to. So let's go full on for the towers. Now, funnels. Let's just drop a triple straight there. Maintain 23. Yeah, 23 knots is good. Range can go down to very short. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, so we're at 104% weight on this hull already, and we're not done yet. Actually, what I might do... That's interesting. Even with the funnels down here at the rear, the 4 weight offset is by 13.7. That's only going to get worse if we do that. Yeah, we need more weight at the back. Huh. Well, can I get a bar? No. No bar bed options. Damn it, main guns. Centerline, 13. 13 twins. No, we just keep the twins. 11.7. I'll see what I can do about that. We're on iron plate armor. So let's go up for Krupp. Barbette 1. Citadel 1. Bulkheads. We cannot change. No enhanced bulkheads at all. I want to increase the reload option here. And I want heavy shells. The reason is I want the extra shell penetration and the extra shell damage of the heavies, and this will give me a gun reload increase. So what does that change us to? Currently, 44-second reload, rate of fire 1.3 rounds, 1.30, 1.4 rounds per minute. So 3 volleys every 2 minutes from 13-inch guns. So 4, and that has us at 25. So in terms of cost, if we go much bigger than what we've got right now, we're only going to get 3 ships. I don't care, I want bigger. We need bigger. So we're going to go with 3 ships. 3 ships, which gives me a 33% budget. We're on 93% on hull. Alright, so how can I really jack this up? Our belt armor is at 10 inches, so let's start turning it up. We're down to 3 battleships now. Let's go for 13-inch belt armor. And let's change our belt extended. The belt armor is obviously your side armor. Belt extended is your bow and stern. And I want to get that up to 8. Yeah, get through that, you bastards. Deck up to 3. And 1.5. Turrets. Shields the main guns against horizontal shell hits, usually inflicted from short and medium distance. Turret armor is typically very strong in battleships because their main guns are the most important weapon. I totally agree with that. I want to increase that up a little bit as well. To 13. Give me 2 inches on the turret top. Alright, now I need to drop the weight. Gas turbines. Engine weight down 9%. Image damage, chance negative 20. Let's go for gas turbines. Oil. And go. Inducted. 4 weight offset is still 17 degrees. We're really heavy on the front for some reason. But that just freed us up a load. Although we've nearly lost our option for 3. We're up to 32. Inducted, no. Semi-oil. Coal. Back to turbines. There we go. That frees us up a little bit. Okay, so this gives us 3% to play with. We're at 88% hull, so that's okay. So that gives us plenty of power. I think we're looking okay there. Awesome. So, secondary guns. Secondary guns. Can we fit 8 inches anywhere? Nope. 8 inches isn't going to go anywhere. Yes, dead meat, that's what she said. 7-inch singles. Actually, what can we do here? Early torpedo tubes require 16-inch. Okay, so we've only got access to 15-inch torpedoes, so the torpedoes are actually not all that great. So we would be better to go for the casemate guns. Go for 7-inch guns. It has us on 3. That at least gives us a secondary battery. Now the 7 inches are not going to penetrate this ship's armor, but they will pepper the hull and pepper the superstructure and potentially damage some of the guns depending on what they've got. It's not great as an option. I would rather have torpedoes, but that's not gonna give me much. Now, what else do I do? Weight is at 95, cost is at 33. I'm getting 3, but our 4 weight's still too high, and I want our 4 weight reduced. Can I? Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Centerline guns, 13-inch, 2 barrels. Tuck them back a bit, does that help? 4 weight is still at 12. Why is our 4 weight so high? The only thing we've got up here is that gun. The triple funnels are at the rear. 500 ton, 400 ton rear tower 3. Maybe. Secondary tower, main tower. We go down to the front 2. It's at 12.5, so that helps, but it's still an issue. You know what? Let's do this. Centerline guns, 13s. 3s. 8.6. Alright, so that narrowed it up. So we've got 3 guns to the rear, 2 at the front. That's going to affect the speed that we're volleying at. We have a 49.8 second reload. 49.8. We're only going to get 2 though, because we're up to 34. So I need to get the... I need to drop the cost. What are they? 264 funnels. It's 19, 13. What's their weight? 680, 550. Scary guns, casemates. There we go. 3 battleships. We're right on the limit for what we've got, and 99% on the hull. And we've still got 13 inches on the bow, 8 inches on the bow and stern, 3-inch deck armor, and 13 inches on the main turrets. We've got 7-inch secondaries, which should, hopefully, maybe, do some damage to the superstructure and start fires and generally do all that kind of wonderful crap. Hopefully we'll still have enough funnel capacity there. We should. 1330. We actually should have a higher funnel capacity than we had before. 4 weights at 8.3. I can't get that anymore unless pull it off its mount. Aft weight offset 0.5. Okay. That works. That works. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so we only have an advantage of 1. And I don't even know what guns these things are going to be carrying at this point, but I'm hoping our armor should be up to the task. 5% chance to hit. 0.4. Secondaries are firing. So range. 9.8. Okay. So apparently our secondaries can actually hit. Look at that beautiful volley. Right, so what have they got? Yeah, those are very, very, very modern looking. And just a rain of stars over here. Nothing's actually hitting anything. Right, so our lead ship, our flagship, is Yamashiro. We have Aki and Taibo. Now I want to try and keep this. I do want to get inside 7.5, but I do want to start popping some shots off first at more extreme ranges before we start closing. The main reason is actually 5.9, 5.6. Let's target their flag first. The main reason being is actually really simple. The game works its accuracy for its weapons in two ways. First is distance to target. The closer you get to the target, the more accurate you're going to be. That makes sense when you think about it. The closer you get, obviously, the bigger the target is, the harder it is to miss. But the second way it works is actually on your firing on the target. Much like a real naval engagement with guns, particularly back before computer aiming was a thing. You would fire a volley off at the target, and then record where the shots hit, and then you would make an adjustment to your guns based on where the shots landed. This was pretty standard for how most gunnery was done in, World War I and World War II, and even, pre and in between naval engagements. Oh, that was awfully close to taking a hit on Yamashiro. It works exactly the same here. The more shots you fire at the target, the higher the percentage rate of your percentage chance to hit will actually go up, as your guns are slowly automatically adjusted in for the target. If you change targets, you'll suffer a massive accuracy drop until you have cycled your guns through. Now what this means is, if you have guns that are firing faster, and this is part of the reason I wanted the reload high, not only does that increase the DPM of the guns, but it also increases the rate at which your guns can gain accuracy. So the more guns firing, the faster the accuracy increases, the more likely you are to hit, and if you can reload your guns faster than the enemy, all of these things will be happening faster than they can do the same in return. So I have no idea what their reload rate's going to be, but considering the number of shells I've seen us fire versus them at this point, I would say we're probably beating them on reloads. Or we have a fairly good chance to have anyway. I mean, the forward turrets on each of our ships are cycling guns every 40 seconds, and the rear turrets are cycling, every 46 seconds, roughly? So 5 shells every 46 seconds, with a few extras tossed in there, depending. So we're up to 7%. Now obviously the closer you get to the target, the faster that accuracy adjustment based on fire will happen as well. And it's very easy once you get inside of, 4 kilometers roughly, if you have the right ship set up, to be able to get your gun accuracy up to 100%. Although, interestingly, 100% doesn't mean you will always hit with your guns. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it does not mean you will hit 100% of the time. I think the definition, I probably should finish what I'm saying there. I think the definition of the accuracy is actually based on the sort of the base area around the ship. 100% means you are cycled into to an area that's about the length of the ship, but you can fall a little bit over and a little bit short, but you're going to land all of your shots in sort of this kind of an area. But it also means that of every single salvo you fire, whoa, look at that. This is why I keep pausing. I'm waiting for the ship identification process to complete. Currently at 73%. I kind of want to know what those guns are. because they've got a lot of them. And I want to know how much I have to be worried about potentially getting punched through. We're down to 7.2 at this point. So, 7.2. 13-inch guns. We're approaching... Well, we're over 14.2 inches of penetration. So, if they're only 11 inches on the hull, which is what was listed, and it does seem to be, since we've already blown the engine out on one of them, and they have flooding, we're at a range now where we can essentially just keep pounding through them, and there's very little they can do about it. And they are turning into us to close distance. Yeah, no. I'm going to cross their T. So turn left, I want to maintain the distance. Slight overshoot. Still don't know what the guns are. 98. Alright, those didn't pen Yamashiro. Alright, what are they going? Okay. Oh. 3 14-inch main turrets. 3 14-inch dual turrets, 4 mounted on the nose, 5 inches, 7.5 only has 1.8534. Okay, they're 5-inch guns and they're 3-inch guns, completely irrelevant outside of hitting superstructure. 14-inch guns, that's a problem. That is a problem. They can get through my side armor at this. They can easily get through my side armor if they manage to shrink this in. I'm going to slow our speed down to full and hope that it'll increase our accuracy a little bit here. And I'm going to have to start snaking the entire convoy just to change distance and hope that it will throw their accuracy off a bit. It is, however, going to affect our accuracy. Alright, we've got another big volley coming through. That's off the rear turret of the flagship. Destroyed secondary gun, that's good. I'd rather destroy those 14-inch ones if we could. That would be great. Another hit. Yeah, those are getting awfully close. Yeah, right, we've got a higher fire rate and we've got more accuracy. They simply have bigger guns. They have much bigger guns. 9, 13. Okay, so St. Bon is... That overshot again. Miss. St. Bon is just rotating back. None of our big shots actually went through then. 91 flotation. Looks like she's managed to sort of flooding out. 74 on the structure. And Regina is continuing on. So her accuracy is going to be better. We're going to have to change targets here in a second. I want one more good volley. A good Saint here, and then we're going to change. Come on. That was a hit. It didn't do much. We're doing pretty good though. We've managed to avoid most of the fire at this point. They have not. 12, yep, alright. Switching guns to Regina and changing direction. Now, accuracy is about 12, 13, so we've actually maintained most of our accuracy, thankfully. That's actually part of the mechanics that I don't understand. Sometimes you'll change targets and you'll suffer a massive drop. Other times you'll change targets and you'll get very little change at all. I'm wondering if it's to do with the range, because the range of the two ships is about the same, or whether or not the guns actually have to rearrange. Maybe it's how far the ships are apart. So 13%, 23% chance to pen. There should be nearly 100% chance to pen, although there is a slight angle there. Destroy barbette. Alright, so that was the barbette the second turret was mounted on. Yamashiro looks like she's bounced a couple more hits, nothing major, no flooding, 94% structure, everything is working fine. So that's okay. Alright, 5.3 kilometers. 5.3 kilometers at this point gives us, yeah, we're nearly at 15.7 inches of penetration. So we're reaching the point now. 24 is bullshit. We should be able to punch straight through their side armor if they're at 11. If we hit. If we hit, that's the thing. We've got to hit. 21 chance to hit. And come on. Nope, falls just short. Don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. That's what I want to see. More of that. More of that. But I'd like you to hit something inside the ship might be an idea, guys. There's their main guns going off. This is loud. They're shooting it up. Yeah. Rather than Yamashiro. Probably because Aki's providing the closest broadside and Yamashiro's turned away. Right, I've actually got to turn Yamashiro back a little now. Just keep snaking the ships. Another hit. Another hit. Not doing great deals of damage though. Whoa! As I say that, that's one of the secondaries destroyed. Don't think that's going to hit Yamashiro. I think you're overestimating the shot a little there. Just fall short. Alright, let's get back to this. More hits, please. Alright, so we're hitting the target and we're doing damage, but it's mostly upper deck stuff. We need to get deeper. And I think the internal protections on these are actually fairly reasonable. Alright, so let's change direction again. Yamashiro, snake back in the opposite direction. They are slowly closing. They are slowly closing. They're right, they're not backing off at all. Taibo seems to be now the main target. they're going to start getting real accurate now. We're hitting the hull, we're just not getting the penetrations. We got fires across the top of the deck. We've damaged the engines, or the funnels at least. We've cost them a couple of guns. We've blown up one of the barbettes, which I'm hoping interfered with that forward turret. Comes volleys from the rears and forwards on Taibo. More of that. Alright, so that penetrated the forward quarter, second bulkhead line, and is flooding below the waterline. So that is nice. That's directly underneath the main forward guns. Shots into them, but we're not getting pens. Come on. More damage to the main guns. I'd rather you damage those big 14 inches if you don't mind, though, if it's a possibility. Alright, let's turn back again. I think this is working. I think this is the first time I've really tried to actually snake a convoy like this, to this kind of a level. And this seems to be working quite nicely. It's keeping them constantly having to adjust their guns. We're adjusting ours, but we're just simply getting more shots off, I think. Come on. Damage main gun. Yep, that's, again, more of that, but I'd rather see some fires and some more flooding. That's going to hit. One of those did hit. That's the first time Taibo has actually taken a hit, and taken a couple of them now, but 14-inch guns, their shots are hitting below the waterline. It's not horrible, but they are. I'm not getting a clean hit because Regina here is slightly in an angle, so she's running better than 11 inches of armor, but we should be getting through regardless. Now, what are we down to? We're down to 3.6, so 3.6. We're somewhere between, we'd have to be about 18, 19 inches of pan at this point. Sure, no. Alright, Taibo just took a big hit. The rear funnel has been destroyed. Yeah, I think we need to stop playing broadsides with them. I'm going to turn over hard right, and I'm going to try and cut straight across her bow. So we've got all our guns on her. She doesn't have any on us, and we're just going to pepper the hell out of her. This is working, but it's becoming too much of a risk now, so I'm going to minimize the guns involved. She's taken an absolute hammering though. Still 50% structure, still 93. 92. We've got some flooding going on here, but it's just nowhere near enough. And you're at 91. You still got some water in the 4, but 91% float, 71% structure. So you're doing just fine. At least nobody's really had any major engine immobilizations or anything else at this point. Ooh, that was casemate destroyed. More damage to the funnels, 45% on structure. No additional flooding. .13's still loading. Yeah, her guns have taken an absolute hammering. She hasn't got many left that she can actually use at this point. Forwards, and there goes forwards. Secondary guns destroyed. Looking at this, both of her forward 14 inches are gone. It's only the rear ones that are left now. She's almost not a threat, but that rear 14-inch gun is still a problem. So until that's taken out, I can't afford to ignore her. Another hit. But we're taking it. The armor increase is definitely working here. This is working out surprisingly well. I thought I would have taken much more damage than this, but Yamashiro's sticking along just fine at 94%. Aki hasn't taken a single hit at this point. Oh, that was a big hit. Engine damage and flooding. And Taibo, it's taken the worst damage and it's still fully capable of fighting. So this is working out alright. Secondary guns. That was a big hit to the rear. Fire, internals, we got more flooding. That's 2 of the boilers damaged, I think. Yeah, she's starting to turn away. She knows she's in trouble now. She's trying to break out of the fight. I still want another volley, another full salvo into that rear and take out that last gun before I switch off it. I'm happy to switch off while she's still afloat, but I want that 14-inch taken out. .28% chance to hit. Come on. Conning tower damaged, fire. Internal explosion. Yeah, she's got all sorts of troubles at this point, and that destroyed casemate. That does look like a rear gun. It's still capable of attacking. I thought it was destroyed then for a second. I was just about ready to change targets. Just about rooted at this point, though. She's one good salvo away from going down. 20% structure. One good salvo to the rear and she's done. Destroyed main gun. Yamashiro's taking hits again. Alright. Switch targets. Yep, see the drop? Hit rate. Dropped to 8.3 from 30% because we shifted targets. So we're now recalculating all the guns for the new target. It should climb relatively quickly. I'm going to leave Regina here go at this point. She's the only gun she's got left cannot penetrate us. I would rather put some damage into, and with two, she's nearly immobilized, so rather put some damage here into to Silicon. I'm not going to use the full names. Get it out of the fight, and then when we come around the side and we have a better solution, we'll switch guns over and we'll finish her off. Our next salvo, and we've already got guns on, 40% hit chance now, so that climb up nice and fast because we are close, we are firing a lot. So she hits, that's going to hurt, and that did, but we can hurt her just back just as much. Yamashiro, 88%, we got fire to the rear and we took main gun damage. Bon, what are we at? The forward guns are going, it looks like damage to the rear. It's flooding. Detonation. Big ammo detonation. That's what I want to see. Structure 16%. 15%. And that's her engines down. That's her steering down. She's all but fucked at this point. Destroyed funnel, 3%. One quick salvo and she's done now. On structure. On structure. She's on the very edge of dying. Yeah, turn back. Turn the fleet back. It's done. Next salvo, 0%. Any main gun shell penetrates. There it is. Sinks due to structural damage. All targets change. So we got Taibo is falling behind a little bit. I'm not sure why. It's only a 9.4 at the moment, but is going up. No damage on Aki at all. Yamashiro. Alright, that's... yeah, this is just mop up now. Did she manage to get... well, spun that around the wrong way. No, her main guns never came back up. So she's not really any threat at all. We can pull that back down to slow. And it's just a matter of getting a shell into the right point to kill her. Destroyed main gun. Oh, apparently she did get one of the main guns up. It's back down again now. Having those the secondary casemates is actually really worth it. They're basically maintaining nearly a solid rate of fire on these enemy ships. They're helping keep the accuracy up. And they seem to be firing HE all the time because they're set to auto, so they're maintaining nearly constant deck fires. This is pretty good. I'm going to have to make sure I keep secondaries on. I've tried some of these other missions before, and I've run without the secondaries on. I'm going to have to make sure I keep them on. Destroyed main gun. Fire. I thought that game main gun was already destroyed. She's broken in half. Flooding. Another big side hit. Another big side hit. Still got 4% structure. Round of applause for Regina for taking an absolute beating. She's not going to survive, but it's still impressive. Flooding at the rear now as well. It's nearly immobilized. It's not hard to aim, just shoot at the center mass at this point. Yamashiro, you've got no excuses. Taibo's the one here that's doing all the work. Fighting. Oh, I think she might be done. I think she might be done. You got water above the deck line. 24%. Oh no, she's come back out. It's kind of great watching them struggle. 2% structure left. 16% floating. Oh. Yep. Another hit. God damn you. And that one fell short. That could have been the shot that killed it, Aki, but you messed it up. Same again, 0% structure, still holding above, although we are sinking here at this point. 7%. There's not enough of the ship left to stay afloat. There's more holes than there is deck. There it is, finally. Finally. Wow. Those bastards took a beating. But I did build the right ship for the right job there, so We took the hits. Our armor was high enough. We had enough speed to be able to make sure we could always keep range and control the engagement. And we had guns big enough to be able to beat them at the ranges we chose. So that was the right way to set that one up. Anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you like to see more, and as always, take care.